Here is Perp back with another video, and finally, after a 5-year hiatus, Kendrick has finally dropped his new album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This album is about like an hour and like 13 minutes, 18 tracks. We're gonna have the track list up real quick, very shortly, but man, this was interesting going into this, because every time Kendrick gets ready to drop an album, he always drops the Heart Part 5 or like the Heart series. And I think the Heart Part 5 really set the tone for this album and really did a good job of, being consistent. And now we get into this album, and it's interesting when people were talking about Kendrick, like you can't mention him being in top 5 or on the all-time great list because he took 5 years. Bro, you really can't take people like that serious when they say things like that, because for me, every time Kendrick comes out, he always puts out something unique, and you can tell he took his time with this project. But let's not waste any more time. I want to get right into the track list, and you'll definitely see my top 10 tracks off this. This is just based off my first listen. I'm definitely going to listen to this over the weekend to see what tracks kind of grow on me. 18 tracks, that's interesting. It's not, I don't feel like it was too long. There was definitely songs that felt very long, like the track Mother I Sober. That was almost like a 7-minute track, but I like the intro and the first like 3 tracks because it really sets the tone. Just Kendrick and his use of different flows and bringing different flows. It's stuff that kind of feels familiar, since we've been listening to him over the past 10 years. So then we get into Die Hard, which I feel like this was definitely kind of like the radio hit. I could definitely hear this on the radio. It has that kind of very West Coast vibe to it. Father Time, that has the Sampa feature on there. This was a really solid track. It just kept progressively getting better as the album went along. But there was some times where I felt like it slowed down, but it was probably on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I could see people kind of being mixed with this album as a whole. I don't know. It's going to be interesting because you get tracks that you don't really expect, like Auntie's Diaries. That is a really I'm curious to see the discussion on that track, like how people are going to react with that. It's not one of my favorite tracks, to be honest, but it's I can still respect it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta listen to it again, but I didn't expect that. So, and then also seeing Kodak on this a lot is really interesting, and the use of the interludes where you'll have like Kodak talking here, and then you'll have like Baby Keem talking in the next one before the next song comes on. It's a really interesting way that this whole track list is layered out. I like the Ghostface feature on here, even though I'm not a fan of Summer Walker. I could do without her whole verse. I think she did whatever she does. I didn't hate it. It was some questionable things as the verse went along, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And then we get into where I think Kendrick really shines the most when it comes to his creativity is songs like We Cried Together. Wow, talk about like a crazy impactful song. That song I think is going to be talked about a lot off this project. Then we get just towards the second half, and here you'll see my top 10 just based off the top of my head right now. This could change over time throughout the year, because I could listen to this and just be like, you know what, I would put this up here and put this lower, maybe replace this. But I think this is a solid 10. Overall, I think this is a solid project. I think this is a really good project. I think it was worth the wait. It it's just Kendrick is really good at what he does. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like his style, if you never liked Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, or even Damn, I don't know what to tell you, because it's definitely a mixture of those three in this project, but take it to another level, I feel like. But I could see some people wanting more out of this. Some people are definitely going to troll and just say, oh, this is trash, this was not worth the wait. You're definitely going to see that, which I could tell you that they probably didn't even listen to this whole entire project all the way through. I did. And it was very immersive, and that's what I like about Kendrick's albums. Even though I'm still more of a J. Cole fan, if somebody were to ask me, like, who would you pick over J. Cole or Kendrick, I can still say that Kendrick is a better overall artist than Cole, if that ever gets brought up. Same thing that goes with Drake, you know. Those three just have such a unique, their own kind of unique styles about themselves, that you can't just, you're gonna have your pros and your cons when it comes to all three of them. So you're not going to be able to please everybody. Literally, Kendrick says that in this album, like, you can't please everybody. But how do you guys think that this album stacks up compared to his previous projects? Is this one of his best albums thus far? Do you think it could have been better? What tracks would you take off? What are some of your least favorite tracks? What are some of your favorite tracks? Where would you rank this? Is this a top 5 Kendrick album? Is this your favorite Kendrick album? I'm just curious to hear people's thoughts. I'm definitely going to check out people's reviews and reactions just to see how people respond to certain tracks, like Auntie's Diary and, like, We Cry Together. Those really hard hitting tracks, and like Mother I Sober, that stuff was really dope. Like I said, if I had to rank this, I don't really normally do rankings, but I would definitely give this like a solid, like, 8 or 9 out of 10. Like, some tracks I could do without, but I think it's a really good project overall. That's pretty much all I have to say with this album. I'm definitely gonna give it some more listens to see where it's gonna land for me for the rest of the year. Is it album of the year? Let me know in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.